me, the type of female I am, I like attention. I
You can
like
have that attention. Don't leave you and give you all of it. Like what you
Well,
doing?
okay, well, if you're not giving at least 90%, I gotta have 90.
Dang. Oh, over.
So is this friend giving you 90%?
I mean, kinda, sorta. Well,
That's it.
it's more like it's more on the lines like maybe more on the lines like maybe a little bit like 80%.
That's a lot. And can I ask you a question?
But you still 10%. They still 10% off. He's still 10%
Right. So what?
off.
So what you come in at?
I'm 100.
Oh no. Oh, you said you 100. I can't. You're right. So I can't.
Damn, what do I do with the water?
I know I could buy a 5 pound bag on the internet though. Back. is back. Can y'all hear me? Let me see. Hello. All right. I guess y'all heard my cat in the background. Where did we start? Where did we start?
Hey, Sheikah, what's going on? What's going on, people? How y'all doing? Y'all just kick back in my chair. Y'all probably just scrolling through. Get y'all this. If y'all see me. See me here. I should have saved that essence. Because it seems like means I need to get some more. What's going on, people? That's not it.
Right now at City Home's anniversary sale. Hurry for once-a-year savings on bestsellers, plus 60 months special financing. City Furniture is now City Home, your first stop for all things home.
Let's get to this video. Let's go.
What was he wearing? Is there any victims I need? This
is 20-year-old Keith Agee. Within minutes of sitting down in this room, he will admit murder. The victim is 18-year-old Brooklyn Sims.
7497. Why tell the people outside confirming shooting?
Because what if I'm the fool that's like, okay, I want to see if he really did it or not? He will admit to the murder. I don't need to watch the video no more. So we only 24 seconds in. What's wrong with this?
Down by the garden center.
A young mother shot dead inside a Home Depot store. Keith.
Bro, stop. Like, damn, let me see that this is my job, my nigga. I can do this. There's always niggas that can't fight. You know what I'm saying? Let me narrate this shit, bro. You here to give me the video so we can watch it. Stick up here telling everything about this.
Is her ex and the father of her 1-year-old daughter, with a confession already on the table. This looks like an open and shut case. This woman is Sheila Agee, Keith's mother and the grandmother of Brooklyn's daughter. At first, she looks like nothing more than a grieving family member, but detectives are about to find out she knows a lot more about this woman.
Hey, squad, y'all don't know it. I'm talking to the YouTubers. Y'all know I was raging over this video because I couldn't find it. I was getting mad over this video. Like, when is video right? And then they renamed the video. And they just aged me about 30 minutes. I wasted my madness on nothing, squad. Because I'm starting not to want to watch this video. And I'm not even lying. He doing my job. He doing my job, bro.
Murder that she's letting on. On August 11th, 2023, a chaotic scene unfolded inside a crowded Home Depot in Customers and employees sprinting for the exits.
17497. Multiple people outside confirmed a shooting down by the garden center.
For real?
What was he wearing?
No, she knows. If anybody knows, it's the white woman in the cut. I'm telling you now, bro. You know, she knows. I thought they closed the door while the food was still in there because they said the shooter is still in this house. I'm like, why the police officer running to the door? And when the door was closed, I'm like, is these niggas done? They got themselves inside with the shooter.
White faded blue shirt, stripes down the side. White male ran back toward Davis Highway. Go ahead. Is there any victims I need? There's a victim there.
Nice.
The 174 from Signal 7.
The victim is 18-year-old Brooklyn Sims. She was a young mother to a 15-month-old daughter working a shift for a contracted inventory company. She had been targeted in the middle of her workday, shot at least 7 times at close range. 2 of Brooklyn's co-workers had also been hit. One grazed across the back. Another struck in the hand. Both survived, with the gunman unaccounted for.
So, she was working for a company and shopping at Home Depot? Because they said she was working for a contracted company, right? Because I was under the impression that a Home Depot employee got, they still look bad with the company. Either way it goes, bro. And then you bet to shoot the other 2 people because how you shoot one person 7 times and 2 other people get hit or other employees? I think bro was trying to gun.
Officers evacuated the store and began sweeping it. Outside, witnesses began telling deputies what they'd seen, one by one.
Okay, that's my shot right there. I took my shot. I just fired up. I saw the guy run around the corner. He had on a blue jacket, black male, 25 to 30, 6'1", and a Glock 19 in this hand. Running across the block. Most people with white stripes on their sweat jacket, workout jacket, slip off the front workout jacket. It's
Okay, so that is good.
Same guy I want to go. I look for the exact where he ran. The gun.
Yeah, we got a million people. We got dogs.
7 times, personally. You ever hear anybody get shot more than twice? Personally. Ain't nobody that mad. Even in the self-defense squad, he's trying to get a nigga off you real quick. You know what I'm saying? You ain't finna take. You know what I'm saying? You're not finna do that, squad. Personally, bro.
This witness had been loading his truck when the shooter sprinted past him, close enough that he nearly ran him down with his vehicle. He watched the man escape in a waiting car.
Okay, cool, love that. That's great. You gotta follow exactly what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm trying, but I'm also trying not to ignore you. What? Nothing. Keep going.
So it's not much conversation, maybe he just said a couple words. Passion. Fool ain't even worried about getting caught. How many cameras at Home Depot? How many witnesses at Home Depot? It's a store, squad. And whoever in that car, ain't no way in hell, I'm finna go to jail for a murder, and it didn't benefit me none. My nigga about to do 5 to 10 years just for driving his fool. He about to do 5 to 10 years just for driving his fool. That makes the niggas is stupid, squad. That makes zero sense. I can understand if it was one of your ops, so you want to take him so that you make sure this fool gets smoked. You want him dead too. So yeah, bro, I take you over there like it's a female that he was fucking most likely. You know what I'm saying? Why did you even take this nigga? Imagine somebody take, hey bro, I'm about to go kill this bitch. Take me real, nigga, you stupid. You done made me an accomplice just by telling me. How the fuck you even tell me that? Dick man, bro.
According to these co-workers, there was no argument, no struggle.
I'm sorry, but think about how stupid you gotta be to act somebody that, and how stupid they gotta be to agree with it. And both these niggas friends. They was gonna die or be in jail one day anyway. Like this shit was bound to happen. It was gonna happen anyway, squad. It was gonna happen anyway.
One sentence from a voice they didn't recognize, and then 7 or 8 rounds. The whole thing was over in seconds. They couldn't say whether Brooklyn even knew the man. The last witness deputy spoke with knew Brooklyn better than anyone at that store. Her supervisor, 50-year-old Sheila Aging.
So she's right there.
Okay, what is the victim's name? Her name is, oh, okay, I thought that was your name. No, Taylor, yeah. Brooklyn Taylor Sentence. Did you hear or see anything? Okay, and so okay. And how far away were you from this? You must have been close because you heard him. And you heard him say, you think I'm playing with you, and then next thing you know, like 7 gunshots. Do you know her well at all to know if she has? Does she have a baby daddy? Your son is her child. Have they been having issues? Okay, what's your son's name? For all to know if she has? Does she have a baby daddy? Your son.
Oh, so you're not crying that this girl is dead. You crying because you can't believe your son did this. That's why you don't see real liquid coming from her eyes. Why? We don't see it. She's crying because her son finna go to jail for murder. She can't believe her son did this. She don't care. Any kind of money before this video over with, she's gonna blame this girl for something. She always coming over there, calling them in the middle of the night, aggravating them, pushing them, trying to do. Watch. She gonna blame this girl for something, bro.
Yes, for a child. Have they been having issues? Okay, what's your son's name? Are they broken up?
Oh, they had been together for years.
But they have children together.
Mom already lying. They ain't been together in years, but the baby 15 months. Mom already lying, squad.
7 years suspected.
That ain't years.
And they don't have any
Yeah, she corrected that because that didn't make no sense.
issues.
Make no sense.
Blackmail your son? No? Okay.
Sheila told officers there were no problems between her son and Brooklyn, and that her son wasn't even a black male. But just as she was about to fill out her written statement, everything stopped.
Somebody, EMS. Okay.
Come on, Mom. Come on, Mom. She is trying to throw off the investigation. She's trying to give her son a little more time to get away. She is not passed out because that girl was dead. I promise y'all she's not. She's passed out because her son just did this. Don't let her fool you. Don't let her fool you. How you go from no tears to lightheaded? Come on, man. Look at the cat.
Okay.
So you pass out when they ask for the statement. I wouldn't be surprised she's an accomplice. Yo, how you gripping your purse still? How is your hand on the back end like this, squad? But you still able to grip your purse? Are you playing or are you for real? Are you playing or are you for real?
Down! Someone get somebody down! Hey, Okay.
Okay, she's back. She's back. She's back.
Sheila was treated at the scene and taken away by ambulance. There was no further statement to police that day. Minutes later, while officers were still combing the area, 911 received a call that broke the case open.
I'm trying to turn myself in.
Okay, where are you at?
Uh-oh.
Pensacola, Alabama.
Pensacola, Alabama.
Yes, sir. I don't know what street I live along.
What are you trying to turn yourself in for?
Bro, start breathing.
What are you trying to turn yourself in for?
I don't know.
No, you're fine. Just calm down. We'll get someone to help you.
Yeah, look, I do my thing. I don't have a gun, but I just want to. I can't.
Okay, you're fine. Or are you at a business right now?
Can't be trying to build it in front of the iPad.
Here's how I got my contacts for free using my vision insurance benefits on 1-800-CONTACTS. I use 1-800-CONTACTS because their insurance lookup tool can find your vision insurance benefits in seconds using just your name, zip code, and birthday. You just click to apply your benefits, complete your order, and boom, your contacts are on their way. I love that I don't have to call my eye doctor or go in person to the office and fill out a bunch of paperwork just to use my vision insurance. Plus, doing this saved me $130 on my last order. It's truly that quick and convenient to apply your vision insurance benefits and order your contacts on 1-800-CONTACTS.
Young nigga, man. He started running. He did that plan. Didn't have no plan at all after he shot this girl, bro. And he regretted. He let his emotions take the best. They got the best of him. He's so smooth. The police didn't catch him. Nobody's behind him. He can still look up, down, left, right. And he called the police. Because he know the hunt is on. And he can't take that. He can't take that, bro. He know that the police is looking for him. And he want to turn himself in before. He can't take it. Again, he not turning himself in because he killed her. Don't give a fuck about it. He's scared. That's why he's doing it, bro. He's scared.
You're at the movie theater?
That's what it is.
Okay, are you in the parking lot of the movie theater?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'm in talking by myself. There's no cars around nothing. You'll see me there. See me at the front over there.
Officers found him waiting in an AMC IMAX theater parking lot, shirt removed to show he was unarmed.
Body of water did you go through? Was it that way or was it that way? It was that way? Okay. That's just where I thought it was. Okay, fine. So walk over here. Left in the back. Side of my car. out of the way. Look. So just throw it way back there. We'll take it in my trunk. You good?
The suspect is 20-year-old Keith, Brooklyn's ex-boyfriend, the father of her child, and the son of Sheila, the grieving grandmother who had just told police there were no issues between them. At the station, Keith had already admitted to the shooting, so detectives took a gentler approach, trying to understand why.
What we should try to do is, we'll hold this on good one, but I'll throw that. How about we start with just your hand, Marie? And I'm going to look for you. Okay? I told you who I am. Yes, it does.
Right.
It does too, because I don't want to be telling those people. How can nobody give what? We don't even know who. How can nobody give what? How can nobody give what?
After nearly an hour, Keith finally revealed his motive, one nobody in that room saw coming. Keith explained to detectives that he and Brooklyn had spent the entire previous weekend together, acting like a happy family with their 15-month-old daughter. But everything changed that very morning when Keith received a phone call from an urgent care clinic. That morning, a clinic had called to tell him he tested positive for an STD. Jane and Brooklyn had given it to him. He said he wasn't angry that she'd been with someone else. He was angry that she wouldn't admit it.
She clapped him, so he clapped her. That's great.
Shine, shopping online.
And his little tricycle, and he started riding home.
First you see organization. Then
Sean Piper.
Bring me that man's head. That's it.
Shows up on time. If Trump shows up on time, you're fucked. Yo, did like Stephen Miller say that he's gonna kill me? Isn't that what Stephen Miller said? He was like left-wing, radical, extremist, communist, Leninist, Marxist, Maoists deserve to die. Isn't that like what he said or some shit? Get to bed, everybody can sleep. Get to bed. My mustache is fucking chopped. Straight up chopped. Straight up chopped. I gotta fix that. I gotta fix that. Or am I the only one noticing it? Or now that I've pointed it out, is it the only thing you can see? I'm gonna throw it. What is the video of the first people in modern day history being the Nazis and ratted out of the troops coming out? I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. You look like Trump without looking. Nelson? Nelson, bring me that man's head. Here, I'll throw this one. Get. Yeah. Alive. Let's light. Therapy classes. Has anybody else noticed that? Is it? These people give their speeches and shit. This rat fuck has definitely been taking speech therapy. Speech therapy classes. Has anybody else noticed that? Has anybody else noticed that? Speech therapy classes. He's no longer doing the thing at the end of all of his sentences because he grew up in the valley. He's no longer taking all of his words from the end. He somehow also fixed one of the little lisps that he had with the, I think it was the letter R. Like, or he stopped taking drugs. No, that shit ain't the drugs. That's just straight up to being a dumbass. But like, dude, like people like him all throughout history have always been taking speech therapy. Donald refuses to do it because he's like a dumb piece of shit. But I hope you understand every single president or world leader that has something wrong with their like a speech impediment has been taking speech therapy. And this motherfucker absolutely has been taking it because he got rid of the whole Valley Girl accent. He now takes everything down because he noticed everybody was making fun of him for taking it up. Our national security and survival of our President Trump issued a directive in our parlance. It's time to play the game! It's time to play the game! Those rats have been all of our law enforcement.
What's going on?
Disrupt, identify, define, fake.
Hello. What's going on? I'm watching a live stream right now. What you doing? Going to the gym? What are you working on today? Arms? Yeah, if you're not, your arm's gonna be skinny like a noodle. Right. I don't believe that. I just believe that you just want to have skinny arms. What are you talking about? I said it. Well, I see what it is that I did. I like your hair, and you look pretty with it. Just how long you gonna work out today? What, 5 hours? You said what? I'm just back on hard to work out on the same day. That's just you super. You gonna be superhuman. Yeah. It's gonna be tougher, but you can do it. I get a little workout out every day, but I haven't hit the weights. I have not. No, I'm muted. Because I had woke up and it was just raging. Yeah. Screenshot. Oh, you are good. How long? You didn't say how long he's gonna work out today. What?
What's he talking about? Who the fuck? Spider-Man? Who the fuck is he talking about?
Tell me afterwards.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Another live stream I'm watching. Yes, ma'am. Later.
Seeks this ultimate end, the overthrow of our system and form of government.
How did he figure it out? Oh no! We're caught! Oh no, we've been discovered, Chuck! It's not like we've been saying we're anti-capitalist for fucking years.
And you've seen this has taken place many times in many places throughout the years. Secretary Review has provided you many examples. Left-wing terrorism always ends in bloodshed, misery, and suffering.
What is he talking about? Like, what left-wing example? What example is he going to give?
Only can travel in one direction. There's no point at which the left-wing terrorist is satisfied with his gains and ceases progressing. Inevitably, left to run its course, it always becomes a gulag. It always becomes the mesh.
They know that the gulags! Oh no! Think dark! They know about the gulags! Shit!
And the imprisonment of political enemies, the stripping of their rights, freedoms, inflicting immense pain, humiliation, suffering, in order to establish complete and total control. Control.
Wait. Why is he describing capitalism? He's describing what we currently have. We have gulags. I hope you understand. If you think of a gulag as, forced slave labor, like a work camp prison, what do you think private prisons are? What do you think goes down at Delaney Hall? It's a slave labor camp. What the fuck?
Psychological, physical, and actual terror. We have to understand that that is the scope and the extent
Hey,
of the
Coco.
threat that we face. As Secretary B also pointed out, this is an international network. Antifa, as an example, operates and does.
Antifa means anti-fascist. It's a movement. It's not an organization. There's no Antifa headquarters. There's no general of Antifa. What the fuck are you talking about? We might not be bees. Mark, this is bad news. We might not be bees.
Of countries all throughout the world. They share common networks of funding, organization, and information sharing.
There's funding? There's funding? You guys are getting paid? What the fuck?
And so all of our intelligence agencies and law enforcement entities should be collaborating and coordinating and working together in order to root out these organizations. One of the hallmarks of left-wing violence and terrorism is
Italians. It's Italians across the board. It doesn't matter who they are. Andrew Cuomo, Chris Valenti, Robert De Niro. All political terrorists across the fucking board.
Completely pretextual and disingenuous appeal to civil liberties in an effort to shield its own violence. This is the tactic that the left always uses to try to protect itself from facing criminal
I'm just
punishment.
doing something.
It is essential that we are wise enough and strong enough to understand that these appeals must fall on deaf ears. The leftist who does not believe in freedom, does not believe in any ordered notion of justice.
Civil rights. Civil rights. Stephen, you want to deport 200 million people. That's not a joke. I know a lot of the chat doesn't know this, but this fucking bald brat piece of shit, fucking smegma-licking virgoid, he dead-ass wants this nation to be 100 million people. All white. Dead-ass! On God! On God! On God! On God! Speaking of on God, how about a little Bella Ciao? How about a little Bella Ciao? Una mattina mi sono alzato, bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao.
Let's understand that he is lying. And I try to persuade people who are not closely following the political scene that some injustice has been perpetrated against them. We must.
Brother, listen, I'm very, I'm white. I consider myself white. You know, I'm Italian, so I know a lot of weird motherfuckers out there. Like, you're not white, you're Italian. But, like, I don't do this because I'm being persecuted against. I do this because anybody is being persecuted against, okay? If somebody doesn't have rights, then nobody has rights. That's the whole thing about rights, dog. That's the thing. Is that, like, for example, due process. If anybody isn't entitled to due process, then nobody is. That's the whole thing. Well, there's an old saying about this, what the fuck is it? It's like, something about, like, I'd rather one innocent man, it's something about innocent men in jail and free men in jail, whatever the fuck, something like that.
Stay the course and be completely unflinching in the pursuit of justice against these enemies of civilization. If the left is allowed to use the real or actual threat of violence to destabilize our institutions, then those institutions cannot and will not succeed. So here in the United States, for example, we saw in the recent past clear threats of violence against our Supreme Court to try to shape how they rule on upcoming decisions.
Bro, what? Donald Trump tweeted out, like the name of a Supreme Court justice and the name of their wife, and then, like, and this is all because they shut down one of his stupid executive orders, and a month later, that Supreme Court justice's house was burnt to the ground. The call is coming from inside the house, Stephen. This is Donnie Diddle's kids' fault. The fuck are you talking about? I even seen some blue-haired liberal fucking burn down a Supreme Court justice's house.
The leftist does this with the full desire, intent, and understanding that the threat of violence against a public figure or their family is meant to cow them into behaving or acting or conducting themselves differently.
Why's the audio gone? What happened to the audio?
Ultimately,
Oh, he must have cut his audio for a bit. Let me just say something. The threat of violence, and I had to carefully thread this needle. The whole idea of like representatives of the people and you know, like a democracy is genuinely at its root. It is built upon the threat of violence, in the sense where, like, if you become a tyrannical government that abuses the people so vastly outnumber the you know, elected leaders and whatnot, and they would, you know, either A, remove you from office through voting, or if you get rid of that right entirely, that's the whole point of the Second Amendment, you know, is to resist against a tyrannical government. That is literally the point of America. That's the reason why America existed in the first place. Was eventually the fucking founding fathers and the rest of the colonialists were like, you know what, fuck it, I don't want to be British no more. Like, and they were willing to fight for it. That is quite literally the root of American democracy.
we had the combination of a violent left-wing organization.
Yo, wait, did anybody else catch that? I don't know how many of you know Ball. I think he's on ketamine. Any of you know Ball? I think this motherfucker's on ketamine. Elon Musk.
What if employer-sponsored insurance didn't have to be group insurance? Group health plans often come with rise.
Okay, I think this motherfucker's on ketamine. Elon Musk takes a lot of ketamine. Ketamine is getting relatively popularized. Does anybody know Ball? Watch it. Look at this shit. Let me slow this down. Let me slow this down. I'm telling you, that was ketamine hands and eyes. Watch. Right when he starts speaking again.
We had a
Right here.
combination of a violent left-wing.
Right here. Anybody? Come on. Any of you know Ball? But wait. The twiddling finger and the head rolling? Elon does that a lot. The head rolling and the twiddle fingers.
Combination of a violent left-wing.
Right here. That's cat. That's straight up cat. I'd put money on that right now. I got no evidence of this, but I'll put money on this motherfucker's taking ketamine.
Had the combination of a violent left-wing organization.
That's nuts. That's nuts.
Threatening our nation.
Oh, and of course he's hanging out with Elon all the time. His wife, this is not a joke, Stephen Miller is a cock. And Elon Musk fucks Katie Miller, Stephen Miller's wife. So of course he's been hanging out with Elon more, doing some cat. Oh, that's fucked.
Highest court. And the federal government and the Department of Justice turning a blind eye to it. Those are the conditions in which this kind of violence can fester as the cancer and ultimately destroy a society. Nothing that we do works if the threat of violence and terror goes unchecked. Our political systems don't work, our judicial systems don't work, our legal systems don't work, jury trials don't work. And at the same time, we have to understand there's a real threat that those who are not themselves terrorists, but who support left-wing violence, will create the conditions that allow that violence to go on without any meaningful inhibition. So, to be specific, we've seen some of our nation's cities in America, like Washington, D.C., and New York City, something against an American term that is known as jury nullification. This is when a person is obviously guilty of a crime, but the juror, because they're ideologically sympathetic to the perpetrator, will not sentence them to a crime that's obviously committed.
Well, I think you're talking about it.
Again and again.
Yeah, that's like Luigi Mangione. That's why Luigi can't stand trial with a jury, because the jury, no matter what every single American understands, they fucking hate the healthcare system. Every single American has somebody whose claims were denied or somebody who died of cancer. So, like, it doesn't matter who you put in the jury, they're all gonna be like, yeah, free Luigi. Like, straight up free Luigi.
Individuals were part of left-wing organizations who committed assaults against ICE officers or federal law enforcement have been brought to court with clear evidence has been presented against them, but the jury has refused to convict or purely political reasons.
Brother, jury of our peers. Yo, this is crazy. He's essentially setting the stage to be like, the judicial system doesn't work because people don't like us, so we're gonna replace the idea of a jury and just have, like, you know, Trump-appointed judges sentencing people to death.
When we reach that point, it demonstrates how deeply the cancer has begun to infest your society.
Oh, he's calling us a cancer. He's calling us a cancer. What do you do to a cancer? You remove it.
Where people have created an internal rationalization structure to justify unsanctioned violence against state and state actors to achieve a political end. We have to use every lawful and legitimate tool that we have to demonstrate that justice will be served and delivered, and to prove that these kinds of tactics and techniques will ultimately fail. If the leftist learns and observes that they're
Dude, he's talking. If the leftist learns and observes, like, he's talking like he's David Attenborough, as the tiger hunts down the sand. Like, what the fuck is that? This is so fucking freaky. I hope you understand, guys. Like, I've never been joking about, like, you live in a fascist authoritarian dictatorship. I know I'm incredibly charming, and I know I'm very pretty, and I have nice big brown doe eyes. I know. But you, dead ass, live in a fascist authoritarian dictatorship. Don't live in a democracy. This is fucking scary shit.
violence and criminal activity helps and ultimately succeeds in achieving their desired political end. They will be endlessly emboldened.
I like how he's using gender-neutral terms, though, right? He's like, the leftists, they will. It is their goal. And he is at least using gender-neutral terms. Thank you, Steve. Thank you.
Here in the United States, we've seen a growing and deeply alarming increase in attempted assassinations against public figures. Most notably, of course, the multiple assassination attempts against President Trump.
Every single one of those was fake. Stephen, are we being dead on God? Are we doing that right now? Because look at you with your stupid fucking tongue. Look at you. You and I both know that every single assassination attempt on Trump's life was fake, except for the one when he was running for the first time when Trump got rushed on the stage, and you know it was real because the way he tweaked out. Trump gets rushed on stage. This one's so old. I hope I can find it. When is this? It was like 2016, 2015. So fucking funny, dude. Mods, tell me if one of you can find it. Guy charges onto stage. That shit was so funny back in the day, the way that Trump absolutely tweaked out, lost his fucking mind. Dude, the search bar on Twitter just like no longer works. It just doesn't fucking work anymore, man. I'm telling you, shit's popping. Pedophile is not live yet.
The successful assassination attempt against Charlie Kirk, many others.
Why would you call it a successful assassination attempt? Isn't that just an assassination? Wait, play it again. That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard.
Against President Trump, the successful assassination attempt against Charlie Kirk.
And he also fucked up his words. I'm telling you, he's taking speech therapy. Why would you call it a successful assassination attempt? Oh, wait a minute. Methinks you did it. He called it successful because it was a mission success.
Many others. This is a fatal cancer to civilization. And the greatest risk that we have is that our institutions have grown too soft and too cowardly to be able to defend themselves against a mortal threat.
Oh, yeah. Nelson got it for me. Let me pull this shit up, dude. Some of you kids may be too young for this. This is back before he was the president ever, back when he was just Donnie Diddle's kids and he was running for president. This shit is so fucking funny. Thank you for finding that so quickly. Here we go.
I
guess I have to do it myself. I know it's not.
It was the way he fucking turned around, just so tweaked out. What the fuck is that? Literally, hold on. I need the spider sense tingling button. The spider senses. Hold on. I know what I need. No, I know what I need. I know what I need. Give me a second. I know what I need. Don't ruin it. This is what it is. This is what happened to him.
President, I guess I have to do it myself. I know it's not.
That's what it is. That's what happened. That's what fucking happened. That shit was good.
Station is your home. You must defend it with the same passion and force as if an enemy intruder is inside your own house where your family lives. That is the level of dedication and urgency that is required. And the greatest threat is that even though there are far...
Wait. Shut up. One more. Shut up. Give it a second, chat. Give it a second, chat. You gotta give me 1 second.
President.
Wait, 1 second here. I'm doing work. Okay? You trust me? Ready? Here we go.
I guess I have to do it myself. I know it's not.
That's the spider. You know what? None of you understand all.
Far more of us. There are far more people who believe in order and civilization and liberty and the rule of law. Is that if we are softer than those who seek to end us, then the smaller but more radical minority will succeed. It is easy to dismiss what I'm saying and to say, surely it cannot be that bad. It cannot be that dire.
Yeah, no, it definitely isn't, bro. We're not trying to round everybody up and kill them. That is absolutely what you're doing. What we actually want is universal health care and affordable child care, free college, and social safety nets. Do I want, and I'm assuming everybody here want every single ICE agent to be prosecuted? Yes. And let me make something abundantly clear. When I call for the enslavement of ICE, that is because they are enslaving migrants. It is also to help address the fact, listen, I will take 1,000 arrows in my back if it means that you recognize there is an archer, okay? I do this shit so people understand slavery is dead-ass legal. Go read the 13th Amendment. It says slavery shall be abolished unless you are incarcerated, unless you are thrown in prison, okay? The whole point, the whole fucking point is to try and get people to understand that you motherfuckers are enslaving minorities in concentration camps and private fucking prisons. Jesus Christ. Also, what a bar I just spit. I'll take 1,000 arrows in the back if it means you admit there's an archer. Oh, that's a bar. What did I say? You realize there's an archer. Oh, bitch.
But again, I point to the examples in our own country where, for example, our Immigration and Customs Enforcement, which has been duly statutory authorized to carry out routine enforcement of immigration law,
Brother, you're executing people on the street.
Has been subjected to an over 8,000% increase in violent assaults.
Bull fucking shit. You know how many ICE agents have been killed by citizens? 0. Zilch. Nada. None.
It's not one-off episodes. This is repeat, systemic, organized, funded insurrection and armed resistance against the federal government. There was a sniper from a sniper's nest using an assault rifle trying to shoot ICE officers in Dallas, Texas.
That was literally Kash Patel. Okay? That was literally Kash Patel to the point where He finished the job and he ran off and he got on his little tricycle and he started riding home. And then he got a text message from the Fuhrer and it said, "Don't forget, anti-ice message on bullet." And he went, "Oh no!" And he turned his little tricycle around and he biked all the way back and he got back on the roof and he grabbed a shell and he carved anti-ice on the bullets and then dipped. Verbatim, that's what it said. Verbatim, that's what it said in the bullets. Anti-ice. Get the fuck out of Dodge.
These are the episodes that we're talking about, where we have had repeated, direct, violent attacks on
Yo, mods, are you guys capable of starting polls, or is that something only I can do?
federal law enforcement in order to veto the ballot box with violence. And the leftist justifies this violence to himself by saying that they alone are the arbiters of what is right or wrong. Not the law, not history, not civilization,
Only me and Ubby.
not public opinion, certainly not God.
Yeah, certainly not God. He is right about that. I ain't gonna praise your fucking imaginary fantasy figure. Blow me.
The leftist assumes for himself judge, jury, executioner. And let's not pretend for a moment that these radical leftists, these terrorists, are operating from a place of sincere political conviction.
Friendly reminder, this man is like not a secretary. He has no, like, he's not the Secretary of War. He's not the Secretary of Agriculture. He's not the Secretary of the Interior. This is, what's his job? Is he just the propaganda minister? Is that quite literally like his job? Like he doesn't actually have a job. He's a special advisor, right? Like he's just the propaganda minister, right? He's Goebbels. What the fuck is his official job? What is Stephen Miller's job? Oh, he's just a political advisor. White House Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy and Homeland Security.
With Scribe, you can write SOPs 15 times faster. Just work through the process you want to create the guide for, hit stop capture, and Scribe automatically creates a shareable PDF with screenshots and written instructions at every step.
Fundamentally motivated. Leftist is fundamentally motivated by envy, by hatred, by jealousy. The leftist looks at what is beautiful and what is good and what is natural and is filled with envy and hatred. The leftist looks at a perfect family with a perfect life and a perfect job, perfect kids, goes to church every Sunday, and is filled with a feeling of inadequacy and jealousy, and they covet, and they turn those emotions ultimately into a desire to subjugate, to oppress, and to inflict pain and suffering. It's not.
Whoa, bro, you literally just want healthcare. Yo, what the fuck? Dude, like when I see like, you know, like a trad wife and her husband and her 3 kids and they're a good old southern boy and they go to fucking church, like, do I want to do that? No. Do I want to stop them from doing that? Also, no. I think I'm allowed to judge it. I'm allowed to be like, that's fucking, you know, I think that's vanilla as fuck, and I bet you guys only fuck missionary. Like, you know, you never had to figure up your race, guy, type shit. And I'm allowed to think that, but I ain't trying to force you to not go to church. What the fuck?
A coincidence that when you look at these violent Antifa demonstrations, you see any photograph of those who are assembled. To be blunt, not one of the people that is demonstrating looks like a normal person. Not one looks normal. They're all deformed in some way in their appearance, in their dress, in their mannerism. Why is that? Why? You look at 2 photographs. You see a normal American street. You see an Antifa protest. Why do the people that are violently demonstrating, why is not one normal-looking person among them? Every one of them,
he's serious,
through the course of their life, their decisions, has scarred their body and their appearance in many different ways, to the point in which their outer appearance becomes a manifestation of their inner hatred.
Have you not seen their MAGA rallies, bro? Have you not seen, like, the fucking Ku Klux Klan rally for the July 4th event? Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Trust your instincts. To all people across all civilizations, you know what normal is. You know what beautiful is. You know what good is. You know that families are right. You know that children are precious and beautiful and must be protected. You know that the criminal and the junkie and the predator is a threat.
I'm gonna go fill up my water because this speech is technically supposed to start.
This is so much deeper than, however, the issues about taxation and regulation, although they're incredibly important. It's about normal, healthy, ordered living. And the violent leftists, for these deep-seated reasons, going back to the earliest wisdom taught to us in the Bible, about coveting. And I'm not talking about rich versus poor. I'm talking about a much deeper kind of coveting. Coveting people who are morally superior, who are superior in the simple, truthful way they live their lives. People that they look at who are happy and ordered and peaceful and contributing to their communities. That burns an ember in them. And that's how you end up with the horrors we've seen throughout history, where good families are dragged out into the street and executed. And you might say, again, you're describing crazy, it seems impossible.
Did I miss something diabolical?
It's about normal, healthy, ordered living. And the violent leftists.
You can gift subs. You can, of course, you can gift subs. What are you talking about? I haven't changed anything. You can absolutely gift subs.
For these deep-seated reasons. Going back to the earliest wisdom taught to us in the Bible about covenant.
2 minutes, folks.
And I'm not talking about rich versus poor. I'm talking about a much deeper kind of covenant. Covenant people who are morally superior, who are superior in the simple, truthful way they live their lives.
Oh, he's talking about superior and inferior. Oh, shit.
People that they look at who are happy and ordered and peaceful and contributing to their communities. That burns an ember in them. And that's how you end up with the horrors we've seen throughout history, where good families are dragged out into the street and executed. And you might say, again, you're describing a future that seems impossible to conceive of. When it comes to preventing these horrors, it is the burden and the duty of good people, all walks of life, to understand that you will always be accused of raising the alarm too loudly.
It's literally us, though. That's us raising the alarm too loud. Like, you know, he's literally just describing what it is.
If you wait until the point where the worst outcome is...
Also, real quick, let me just do this. All right, hold on. Let me just start recording real fast. The Fuhrer is about to give a speech and announce the death of democracy. Here are my predictions. He's going to disqualify the two Georgia senators, Ossoff and Warnock. What is it? It's John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock. He's also going to claim that China rigged the 2020 election by creating like remote-controlled voting machines that they sold to the Venezuelans under Hugo Chavez, and then when he died, Nicolas Maduro took over the operation. And then he's going to say that there's going to be new rules for the midterm elections. Those are my guesses, okay? And then I'll cut the video with all the random bullshit that's about to happen until the pedophile Fuhrer comes out and gives his speech. But yeah, this is bad, folks. This is bad. Okay, back to finishing Stephen Miller's speech.
So obvious that no one can deny it, you've already lost the battle. That's the fundamental point. If you say, I will not raise this alarm until the threat is so present and so clear and so obvious and so imminent that none can deny it, it's already too late. It's already too late. I would rather prevent a threat from occurring and be accused for the rest of my life of having falsely raised the alarm, knowing in myself that I was right, than for fear of being judged having waited too long until the point of no return has been crossed. Good.
All right, enough of you hyperboles. Enough of you hyperboles. You know what? Actually, I'm going to stop the recording, then I'm going to start it again right before he speaks. Yeah. Right before, now we just wait. Now we just wait, and right before he speaks, I'm gonna blast out real quick. All right. It's 9:01. He's gonna be fashionably late. I think he's gonna be fashionably late. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? He's always fucking late, this guy. It's a good thing that he's late, though. It is a good thing, because if he showed up on time, that meant that this was some real big fucking... Oh, God. A pedophile's giving us...
Good evening. Before we begin, I'm proud to report that our country is safer, stronger, and far wealthier than it has ever been before.
Looks
We
like
are
shit.
doing great.
He sounds like shit.
Less than 2 years ago, we inherited an economic and social disaster. After the worst inflation in 48 years, the wide open borders with millions and millions of people pouring in from all over the world, including criminals of all types, and 11,888 murders, many of whom killed more than one person.
Nazi dog whistle.
We had transgender for everybody.
What?
Men and women's sports, crime ravaging our cities, and the whole world was laughing at us as a nation.
Now with a
Not
hot
anymore. 2 years ago, our country was dead. Now we are the hottest country. Said at any time in the history of our country, more Americans are working today than ever before.
False.
This week it was announced that inflation saw the largest monthly decline in more than 6 years. Just happened.
Complete lie.
The media reported it.
Full-face lie.
We accepted the best in 6 years. The tax cuts in our great, big, beautiful bill are saving hardworking families thousands and thousands of dollars.
Only the 1%. Only the 1%.
No tax on tips.
Not in
no
the
tax on overtime.
Not in the
no
BBB.
tax on Social Security for our great
None of that is in the big beautiful bill.
along with the interest deduction on a loan used to purchase a car, but only if that car is made in America and a 100% expensing for our job creating businesses. Our stock markets are at their highest point in many years, but we can actually say of all time. 1Ks, pensions, and retirement accounts are setting records every single day, the highest in history. For years, we paid the highest price for prescription drugs anywhere in the world. Now we pay the lowest price under my most favored nation's policy because I was able to get the rest of the world and the pharmaceutical companies to act responsibly. Drug prices are coming down by 70, 80, and 90%. TrumpRx.gov. This will ultimately reduce the cost of healthcare. You have to go to TrumpRx.gov
Oh my
and take
God,
advantage
it's
of
an
it.
advertisement.
The cost of healthcare is coming way down because of what we've done with prescription drugs. And with Trump accounts, every child in America now has access to a tax-free investment account to save for their future. Billions and billions of dollars are being invested, put in by
Seeded by
companies and
billionaires.
individuals
Oh my God.
to take care of our children so that at age 18 they will have potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars in their account.
This is not
And
AI.
they'll get off to a great start in life. So for that, go to TrumpAccounts.gov and sign up your child or any child who'd like to sign up.
Jesus
Our
Christ.
previously wide open borders have been transformed into the
and get a
best
Big Mac.
borders in the history of our country, with 0 illegal aliens being admitted to the United States in the past 14 months.
You
That
think
is
you would
zero.
record when you
Nobody
admitted
thought
that
it
an
was
illegal?
possible.
You don't admit undocumented. Well, what do you mean?
The history of our country, and now we have the best.
You would
Crime is
know.
plummeting nationwide with the murder rate at its lowest level since 1900, or more than 125 years ago. We're making a record investment in our armed forces, and we have the strongest and most powerful military by far anywhere in the world. I
False.
built it during my first term, and unfortunately, we're forced to use it now. We won in Venezuela, which is now working with us to produce millions and millions of barrels of oil. We are likewise winning big in Iran. and
Winning big.
The fruits of that labor very, very shortly. America is back.
Day 140 of the war.
Really well. But we still have a major challenge that must be urgently addressed because no country can be great without fair and honest elections.
Here it comes.
You have to trust your country because if there can be no trust, there can be no greatness. And that's very simple. No trust, no greatness. For many years, I've called for bold, swift, and decisive action to protect the integrity of America's elections. Every American deserves to know that when they cast their vote, that vote will be counted accurately in a system, and that is to make that system secure.
I love it.
One where cheating and interference are not just difficult, but virtually impossible. Unfortunately, the system we have today falls catastrophically short of that standard.
Most secure elections in
Tonight,
the world,
I'm
by the way.
announcing the immediate declassification and release of critical intelligence, revealing shocking vulnerabilities in our election infrastructure. This evidence shows that the election system we have dangerously exposes and really exposes like levels never thought possible to hacking, exploitation, and foreign interference. Just as disturbingly, this vital information has for many years been covered up and hidden from you. The American people are beautiful, are great American people. But that all changes right now. The documents we will release starting tonight have been gathered by the White House Government Transparency Task Force, a great group of people, along with the staff of the President's Intelligence Advisory Board, supported by our top intelligence agency chiefs, who have all personally reviewed the findings. We are presenting this evening and fully confirmed their authenticity.
China.
You can see these documents for yourself at whitehouse.gov. That's whitehouse.gov. Go check it out. Our
Huh. Noom has GLP-1 meds now?
Yes, Noom combines medication with healthy habits so you can lose the weight and keep it off.
Yeah. GLP-1s starting at $149.
That's Noom Smart. Noom, the smart way to lose weight.
cover 5 major areas of concern. First, they show that over a period of years, starting during the 2020 election cycle, the People's Republic of China carried out what is believed to be the largest compromise of election data in history, resulting in China's illicit acquisition of 220 million U.S. voter files. That information includes names, addresses, phone numbers, political party preferences, and other sensitive data that would be needed to register to vote and engage in other nefarious activities, which is exactly what was happening. This data loss presents an unprecedented election security nightmare. The intelligence even shows that China assigned a data exploitation unit specifically to this new project. Compounding the travesty, the second set of documents we are releasing reveals that members of the deep state, very, very famous group of people, in many cases, that's you, in our intelligence agency, work to actively suppress and downplay information about the extent of China's sinister election meddling, covering it up from both the president and the American people like nobody thought was possible. U.S. spy agencies began learning about the compromise of voter registration files in 2020 when they discovered that tens of millions of voter data, think of that, tens of millions of voters' data in 18 states have been bought, stolen, or hacked by China.
So stupid.
Yet those responsible for sounding the alarm instead kept the information secret and
China voted for Biden.
not disclosed to me as president or to anyone else, and to the best of our knowledge, they did not inform Congress. In fact, all they kept saying is, this is the most secure election in the history of our country. A standard very
He went off script.
line that
He
was
went off script.
divvied out to say. The cover-up of this colossal security breach is even more disturbing in light of the additional information showing that China engaged in other election-related activities to undermine my first administration and our 2020 campaign. They did not want, and they just didn't want it. They fought like hell not to have it, Donald Trump, to win, and for good reason.
I called this.
As the documents we are releasing show, CIA reporting explicitly stated, and I quote, in mid-2018, the Chinese Communist Party's policy was to leverage all domestic and foreign elements that were opposed to the U.S. president in an effort to reduce the U.S. president's votes and make him resign or prevent his re-election.
Dude, China's
Isn't
gonna
that
be
nice?
pissed. Xi Jinping's
Also,
gonna be
in
so angry.
2018, China was working to influence the results of the U.S. midterm elections.
Invade Taiwan.
The results of the 20 presidential election itself. Separately, in mid-2019, the Chinese government's strategy against the United States was focused on undermining domestic confidence in the U.S. president. They wanted to just make you sound like your president wasn't so hot, when actually your president has done a great job, and they did everything possible to do exactly that. Going on, this document says, and this is by the CIA, the strategy included efforts to use Chinese contacts with big U.S. companies
In Venezuela.
to influence U.S. business leaders to turn against the President of the United States of America. The Chinese government sought to identify U.S. journalists who had reported negatively on the U.S. president and pay them large sums of money to write more negative articles about him, as many as they could.
He's talking about
and
himself.
They didn't care what they said. The Chinese government wanted U.S. president to lose the next election, and the reason they wanted me to lose is because they knew I was wise to them. Charge them billions and billions of dollars worth of tariffs and built the strongest military anywhere in the world. We have the strongest military anywhere in the world. These are exact quotes from the CIA reporting. The name of the person doing the quote is now under review, but it gets even worse. Raw intelligence obtained by the FBI in 2020, yet buried by rogue bureaucrats, stated that China's activities even included an attempt to manufacture illegal ballots for Joe Biden.
In Venezuela.
Documents show that during this period, dozens of significant CIA and NSA reports about China's election targeting were kept out of the presidential briefing. These were briefings I would get almost every day. Everything was kept out that was of importance. One email among intelligence analysts admitted that they had, quote, deliberately massaged the presidential daily briefing to withhold information regarding Chinese activities.
You don't do a daily
related
briefing.
to the election.
You don't do a daily
Another
briefing.
official inside the FBI wrote that she was running, quote, a shadow government.
At Florida Virtual School, there's no classroom required to crush core courses like personal finance with one-on-one teacher support. See the difference at flbs.net/no classroom required.
Political. Recently we found significant numbers of burn bags in formation. This is a group of bags that were used to destroy information given by President Barack Hussein Obama to be burned. It was supposed to be burned.
2012,
These
Venezuela.
bags were
Hugo Chavez.
supposed to be at a different level by different people, incinerated and checked, but it never happened. Maybe we got lucky. We believe this was not done on purpose, but rather through gross incompetence of the people that were supposed to burn the bag.
What the fuck are you saying?
But the findings are stunning. Today, I'm asking the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, the Department of Justice, the FBI, and the CIA to investigate how and why such crucial information was hidden, to fire those involved in the cover-up, and to file criminal charges, if appropriate, against these people. Yet concealing China's meddling was only the beginning. The third set of documents we are releasing proves that for many years, Americans were blatantly lied to about the security of our election infrastructure, including electronic voting machines and ballot counting systems. Dishonest, almost all. They're vulnerable, and they're easily compromised, and people within our government knew that. Tonight, we're publishing a series of previously classified U.S. intelligence community assessments and other reports proving that our government has long known these machines are extremely exposed to attack. As one assessment states, we judge that the United States adversaries, including at a minimum Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, as well as non-state groups, have the capability to compromise U.S. election infrastructure. That's unquote, but that's some statement, isn't it? Made by supposedly great patriots of our country. The document goes on to further state that, quote, we assess that centralized election-related data repositories, such as voter registration databases, poll books, and other official election websites, are most vulnerable to exploitation, and adversaries could use this access to these systems to disrupt election processes within the United States of America. Tonight, we're releasing all of those findings and spanning from January 2020 to June 2026. Get it out. This is a cyber threat aimed at the very heart of our democracy. Many people have questioned whether it could actually be possible to electronically manipulate vote totals or change election results on these terrible machines. Today, we are releasing documents that show the CIA obtained reporting of a specific plot to do a big number in favor of the corrupt Maduro regime in Venezuela. Happened, conspiring to digitally rig their own country's elections in 2020, and that's what they did. This reporting included precise details about methods to regime develop to digitally alter vote totals in ways that could not be detected even with an audit, no matter how deep they went. This intelligence underscores why we must take urgent action to ensure that our own system can never, ever be hacked or compromised like it was.
I called it to the
today.
T! To the T!
The fourth set of documents reveals that even when significant evidence of fraud has been detected, it has been buried and covered up. Among the disclosures tonight are FBI files detailing evidence of alleged fraud by a large-scale voter registration operation in Michigan. In 2020, Michigan State Police raided a Democrat Get Out the Vote organization, corrupt group in Muskegon. And we're so concerned by what they found. They were just so concerned, they couldn't believe it, actually, that they contacted the FBI at Detroit. The documents state that some canvassers admitted to FBI agents that they signed voter registration forms in other people's names, submitted fraudulent registration for people who did not exist, and received gift cards tied to their number of applications that they produced. In other words, it was pay, play, and cheat. The FBI agents working on the case believe that crimes were committed, yet the Biden Department of Justice slow-walked the investigation and killed it. Tonight, I'm asking the FBI director to ensure that the matter is fully investigated and to work with the Department of Justice to prosecute those responsible for any crimes. Finally, to reveal just how vulnerable our elections continue to be, we are releasing the results of a stunning investigation by the Department of Homeland Security. According to the DHS review, undocumented voting rolls and public records, undocumented, they identified approximately 278,000 non-citizens who are registered to vote in federal.
It's easy to start selling on Depot. Just snap a few photos, and we'll take care of the rest. And with no selling fees, you can keep even more money. Download now.
Legally registered to vote. Registered to vote. Put together, these disclosures reveal an election system so broken and so vulnerable that no one can possibly defend it. It is not defensible. Hundreds of millions of U.S. voter files are in the hands of foreign governments. Our machines and ballot counting systems are exposed to hacking, manipulation, and corruption. China and other countries have been trying to meddle in our elections. Evidence of fraud has been buried. Hundreds of thousands of non-citizens and dead people are listed and active on the voter rolls.
None of this is
Yet
true.
we still have elections with no voter ID.
None of this is
no
true.
proof of citizenship, and tens of millions of ballots floating aimlessly through the mail. As one example of the insanity, California's recent election for mayor of LA and governor was held on June 2nd, a long time ago, but it was just completed a few days ago. When
Mail-in ballots, you
think of
dumb
it, much
cunt.
more than 1 month. Took a month to count the votes. I wonder what they were doing. This is worse than any third world country. There's no third world country that has elections like we have. In a rare move, NBC and ABC Fake News have both said that they would not cover this speech. They knew what it was about because of the fact that they don't like the topic, because they know how corrupt our system is and they don't want to reveal it. They and others in the media are part of a plot. They want to continue this fraud for whatever reason. They want to keep it going. They want to protect the radical left. They can't have a great country, and that's true. You can't have a great country without free and fair elections. Fraud like this should mean a revocation of their licenses. They use our public multi-billion-dollar in value airways for absolutely no money. They pay nothing. All we
The
want
White House
is
website just
honesty,
crashed.
honesty and reporting.
Too many
They pay
requests.
nothing for multi-billion-dollar.
The White House website just crashed.
Great damage has been done.
WhiteHouse.gov crashed.
Our elections were left vulnerable to being rigged and stolen, and the trust of the American people was lost. This cannot be allowed to continue. Every American, whether you're a Republican, Democrat, Independent, or otherwise, should be able to agree that we deserve the most secure, honest, and fair election system anywhere in the world. Secure elections should be a partisan, really, we should be
Bipartisan, you
together.
stupid fuck.
Democrats, Republicans, Independents, everybody. And it should not be a partisan issue. It should cause to unite us, not to divide us. This should be a cause. We should be united, not divided. In light of the brand new and irrefutable information I have revealed tonight, my administration is in the process of notifying the states whose election data was
Georgia
compromised by
senators.
the
Georgia
People's Republic
senators.
of China and
Georgia
many others.
senators.
So we can never be bought, we can never be hacked, and we can never watch a stolen election again. Tomorrow, the Secretary of Homeland Security will hold a briefing to outline his department's recent work confirming cyber vulnerabilities in our electronic voting systems. They are bad. We're in the process of informing governors, senators, and members of Congress of potential issues in their states. If you look at voting today, it's in such bad shape in so many states, and we are committing to fix it. And we're also committing to be working with those states.
They're
and all
freaking
those
out
jurisdictions
about the
that
rise of
have
socialism.
such
They're
no
taking
technical
away the right to vote because of the rise of socialism.
midterm elections. We have very important elections coming up. We want those elections, to be honest. I've also ordered DHS to notify every state about non-citizens on their voter rolls and direct them to remove all ineligible voters from the lists of
Yeah, Democrats.
But most importantly, addressing this crisis of election security demands that Congress must pass the Save America Act.
Suck my dick, you fat pedophile fascist piece of shit.
Unless you want to cheat.
Oh my god.
The only reason you wouldn't do it is you want to cheat because your policies are so
Every
bad.
accusation is a confession.
Candidates are so pathetic that you can't get away or can't get elected any other way. This landmark bill requires that all voters must show photo voter ID. How simple is that? Could I have your photo, please? Photo, voter ID. All voters must provide proof of citizenship. Are you a citizen of our country, please?
You already have to prove that. You already have to prove that. You have to give them your fucking signature and link it to your address.
California and so many other places, mail-in ballots are inherently.
You have to register to vote.
So you would have no mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military deployment, or.
Today, we see a solo hunt. Not out of necessity, but for pure sport. For however you choose to hunt. Thrift your way at shopgoodwill.com.
America, act without delay. Together we will restore faith and confidence in our country, and we will be bigger, better, and stronger than ever before.
He's wrapping it up.
Thank you. God bless you. God bless our great military. And God bless America. Thank you very much.
Okay. I called it to the T. Verbatim, exactly what I said, exactly what I called. He did. To the T. Here's what I posted last night on Instagram. Check this out.
Chinese army, they created these voting machines that can be controlled remotely, and then in the year 2012, during the Hussein Obama Iran administration, they sold the machines to Hugo Chavez, a terrible, terrible socialist communist radical Marxist unity from Venezuela, and the plan was come to the year 2020, we'll be able to, the Chinese now saying, we'll be able to control whatever election we can put in whoever we want, it's remote, it's everything's computer. And so Hugo Chavez died and passed out with his infamous son, and Nicolas Maduro rigged the 2020 election in the name of China for Joe Biden, so that China could do so good, so good. And our nation was just the laughing stock of the whole world, and now it's so hot, it's the hottest nation on earth. And due to all of this, I will be immediately, while making Iran.
I literally called this shit to the fucking T, precisely and exactly. All right, so this is what they posted: election integrity, ensuring whatever Trump's address, whatever vulnerability in electronic voting and ballot counting systems. For years, Americans were blatantly lied to about the security of our election infrastructure, including electronic voting machines and ballot counting systems. We are releasing a series of previously classified U.S. intelligence community assessments and other reports proving that our government has long known these machines were extremely exposed to attack. As one assessment states, quote, we judge that the U.S. adversaries, including at a minimum Russia, China, Iran, North Korea, as well as non-state groups, have the capability to compromise U.S. election infrastructure. Oh, okay, so this is literally just like exactly what it said. Michigan voter registration investigation, non-citizens. Oh, that's fucked. That's absolutely fucked, bro. Have they added me to the list of media perpetrators, media offenders? Have they added me to the list yet? I don't think they have. I really hope they do one of these days, man. Alright, so, oh, the fucking camera. I hate that business. What's that? So, exactly what I told you would happen happened, which you should probably start getting stupid. Yeah, we're living through the death of democracy in real time. What the fuck? Huh? Listen, if you're here live, you stay. If you watch this pre-recorded on YouTube, I hate to say it, but I told you so. Holy fucking shit, dudes. I gotta make an Instagram with you. A prophet? Yes. Do you guys know what my name is in Latin? My name is Christopher Valenti. You go ahead and look up what my name means in Latin. Hold on. So I was right, like, to the T. Like, 100% verbatim everything I told you Trump would say, he said. He literally said that China rigged the 2020 election through voting machines made in Venezuela, and Nicolas Maduro knew about it because they wanted
wanted Joe Biden to win so that China could do better. All of this is a lie, by the way. Literally, that entire fucking thing was a lie. And then you combine that speech with the insane speech that Herr Goebbels gave the other day, Stephen Miller, the bald-headed Jewish Nazi, where he quite literally said, like, we need to declare war on leftists, we need to start killing them. Yeah, no, you dead ass on God, you live in a fascist authoritarian regime. A lot of people, such as myself and Hassan Piker and Kyle Kalinske, have been trying to warn you for a dog's age, but you slow walked into a fascist authoritarian dictatorship. And you know, I'm a revolutionary optimist. We could light this fucking candle. You want to play that game? We can play that fucking game, brother. Let's do it. Fuck it. I mean, Jesus Christ. Chris Mullin. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. I actually think that was a speech. Holy fuck, Chris, I saw a military convoy going down I-81 South, 10 plus tractor trailers full of Humvees. Well, that's not good. Well, let's hope that was a normal convoy going to do some normal behavior and things and such, you know. So our election's going to be completely different. But remember what I told you when this started? I said Trump could say a lot, but he can't really do it.
You would merge two companies without aligning the numbers. So why build the future without aligning how the work actually gets done? So that's where Scribe comes in. Scribe captures a workflow as someone does it and turns it into a clear guide. But instead of sending talks to people for them to follow, Scribe will guide people on their screen. Well,